Hi, welcome to World of Concrete. I'm Carol Wyman with Coatings Coffee Shop, and I'm here with Jeff from Deco-Crete. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Thank you. Deco-Crete, we are a company out of Ohio. We manufacture full-line decorative concrete manufacture, as well as have 4 retail stores in the state of Ohio geared towards mainly decorative concrete contractors, but also DIYers and homeowners and people that like to just interested in decorative concrete in general. We kind of try to be something for everybody when it comes to that point. But our main focus, though, is creating the best products we can for concrete contractors and trying to put out the best support in the industry. And getting people through their problems, because in decorative concrete there's lots of problems, and we sort of use those problems as opportunities, I guess, to make lifelong customers.
Right, you face the challenges, you create solutions. I think that's great. Another reason you're on the show here today is because you have a trade show that you guys had created. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so that is the Decorative Concrete Expo, and this is going to be year number 11 for the Decorative Concrete Expo. It's hard to believe that I'm saying that it's year number 11 because it feels like yesterday when this whole thing started actually on a plane ride on the way home from the World of Concrete. And myself and the owner of the company, we're kind of talking about things that we've seen happen at the World of Concrete over the years, and we've seen it progress. We've seen other areas sort of take a little bit of a backseat, and we just sort of wanted to create our own place that we can do things the way we want to do it, and that was kind of what spawned the whole show. And from there, just lots of planning, and finally had the first one after like a year of planning it. And went really, really well, but obviously we've learned a lot since then and try to make things better every single year. And so it's kind of a place for a big playground for decorative concrete contractors to come and experiment with whatever they want, have a lot of fun. There's something that we started last year, is to actually have an artistry competition as part of the show. So it's called the Decorative Concrete Smackdown. And so there's 8 different teams of artisans that come and compete for actually like a lot of prizes. I think this year's prize pool is going to be somewhere in the $20,000 range as far as cash and prizes. That's going to get split up between first, second, and third. And all the attendees at the show vote for the winners. So we have nothing to do with voting, luckily, because I wouldn't want to have anything to do with that.
Sure.
And so yeah, it's kind of a big deal. There used to have been a couple different competitions over the years for decorative concrete, but we wanted to create something that is going to stand the test of time. We've seen a lot come and a lot go, and we literally make them a world championship belt that we give to the winner, as well as some other stuff for second and third. And
Wow.
it's a super, super cool thing. Probably kind of becoming the hit of the whole show is
That's
the
great.
Decorative
What an
Concrete Smackdown.
incentive, and it also brings like just new ideas. I bet there's a lot of new ideas that come through all the time. What do you think is what's kind of trending now for decorative concrete?
So something that's been trending, and it's funny because we're on Coatings Coffee Shop here, but floor coatings really have been kind of the biggest trend that I've seen in the last 10 years. Honestly, like literally 10 years ago. What year is it? 2026. So 2016, you could look around most towns and there was a couple coatings contractors. Well, nowadays in 2026, there's probably hundreds in every town. And so we've seen that as a huge trend. And it all kind of started with metallic epoxy, kind of back in the 2013, 14 range. We noticed that really started coming on. And then it just snowballed from there. And you got tons of manufacturers putting on training classes and getting new people involved. And it's really, I hate to use the word easy, but it's easier to get into to start a coatings business than it is a full concrete business.
Sure.
You don't need the same amount of equipment that you would for that, and a bobcat and a dump truck and a trailer and all this stuff. You can rent some stuff in the beginning, so you can get into it. Again, not easy, but easier than you could a big construction company. So we've seen that as a good opportunity to sort of really try to plant our foot in the coatings market. And we put our trainings on, and we've seen a lot of converted painters. Probably our biggest area in the coatings world is people that are tired of working on ladders, and they want to be on the ground. And so this works good.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that once you get into one area of decorative concrete, you kind of live there for a year or two, and then you realize what else is all going on in decorative concrete, and very few people stick to just one thing once they see what else is happening.
Right, and it's really important to diversify just from a business standpoint too, because that's an easy way to kind of the ebbs and flows of the industry. I'm sure it's nice to have some sort of diversification.
It is, and you might have some guys on your crew that like the coatings better, and so some people start a whole new division just for that. It's also can be regional based. We're out of Ohio.
Yep.
We have really, really harsh winters. Sorry, guys in Minnesota. I know you have it way worse than we do, but ours are bad too. The thing, so if you're a concrete contractor, you have a good 3 or 4 month downtime during the winter.
Yeah.
So coatings open up a lot of indoor work that might
Sure.
not be possible if you don't do that sort of thing. And so that I would say that's, I've been saying that for a while, that's kind of the biggest trend we've seen, but that currently still is, I would say, the biggest trend. And then there's always, kind of on the fringes of decorative concrete, you have vertical concrete carving is always probably one of the coolest parts of the business.
Artsy,
It's
very
the most
artistic.
artsy.
Yes.
I would say it's probably the least sold part of the business. It's hard to make a living doing just that, but
Sure.
that's something that it has been also kind of up and trending for the last quite a few years. And acetone dyes, things like that, the technology that's gotten better, and especially in the coatings industry, low odor coatings, things that we can offer now that you almost can't smell, but the same quality of a coating that you were getting 10 years ago when you couldn't even be in the building once the stuff was applied. And so low odor coatings have become a big deal. And when it comes to the rest of the stamped concrete, has been in a good stride for 20 years now.
Right.
Still grows, but as far as the trendy part of it, definitely coatings and somewhat of vertical concrete.
Yeah, it's nice to see that there's a lot of, I've seen a lot of stamped concrete, but it's great to see, the epoxies and the polished concrete and being able to do all that. I think that's pretty.
And polished concrete, too. That's another thing that's become trendy. Now, I don't have a whole lot to do with polished concrete.
No, but it is trending.
It is very, very trendy, and it is decorative concrete, although as a company, as Deco-Crete, we don't offer a lot for the polisher.
No, sure.
So, I don't have a lot of personal experience on the polishing end of things.
No, that's okay. Well, I'm so happy that you're here. I want you to tell me the dates and how people can get involved in the trade show that you guys offer.
So the dates are February 26th and 27th is a Thursday and Friday. It's in Canton, Ohio, right next to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And you can go to decorativeconcreteexpo.com and you can view what the show offers. You can buy tickets. You can buy tickets all the way up until a week before the show.
Nice.
Online tickets did go up a little bit this week. If you're watching at the World of Concrete, there is World of Concrete specials. Stay tuned to your Facebook page. But you can buy tickets at the door. They're more expensive, but if you space it, you don't do it
you're
ahead of time.
not sure what your plans
We're not going
are?
to tell you you can't
Yeah.
come in. We're just going to take a little bit more of your money. That's all.
Yeah.
And so lots of cool stuff happening in there. There's lots of hands-on learning opportunities in the show. There is obviously a lot of eye candy as far as all the artistry exhibits. Tons of industry vendors. There's also this year, brand new, is going to be the Wheelbarrow World Championship race of the world. And so we are going to be doing head-to-head wheelbarrow races with bags full of sand as weight. And it'll all culminate to a final on Friday morning, and we will crown the first ever wheelbarrow champion of the world.
Wow. Well, you heard it. You heard it here. Maybe not first, but you definitely heard it here. So I want to thank you for being here. This is great. We're at Coatings Coffee Shop, sponsored by Tremco at the World of Concrete. Stay tuned for more. Thank you so much. Thank you for being